Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity. I'm going to adjust my mic a little bit here. 12 o'clock location, we have Khrane as the, I assume Khrane, as the 12 o'clock orange Protoss. Bottom right hand corner, we have Dreamer as the green Protoss. Khrane took game one. It was almost, I'm wondering if the sloppiness of game one was because of the lack of scouting on both sides, but it felt like maybe both players were playing nervous and a little bit, it was kind of a messy match overall. Khrane taking it with that slow Reaver walk. Whoever wins this set, of course, well, this is spoilers, so if you haven't seen it, plug your ears for the next 10 seconds. But whoever wins this is going to end up facing Master Ray on the opposite side of the bracket. Be sure to check out Master Ray streaming on Twitch. I really feel like he's a good representative of Brood War overall because I think a lot of the impressions of... How do I put this? I think it's better to view Brood War like chess, where it's something that you know, there's grandmasters who just dedicate immense amounts of time. It's like a game like chess, where if you just put in immense amounts of time, you'll get immense amount of quality or whatever. You'll be better. It's a direct, that's what makes it a great game, is the more time you put in, the better you get. And so I think it's better to look at it as something you can generally improve at, like basketball or chess or something along those lines. And I think Master Ray exemplifies that because he does so well with so little APM comparatively. In fact, making it to the finals of Hasuleague, which I think is fairly prestigious overall. Anyway, check that out. There's also a map tournament going on. Excuse me, a map tournament going on, put on by Team Think Quick and BroodWarMaps.net. If you go to Team Liquid, double gateway opener here, by the way, from both players. Probably because, again, this is non-ramp map, and it's almost, yeah, got to do it on this map. So, yeah, go check out the map tournament as well if you're into that sort of thing. I checked out a couple of the maps. They actually looked, I thought some of them looked pretty snazzy. Some of them looked, the color scheme one was like, yeah. But it was like a little bit half and half for me because, come on, probe, click. So a couple of them, I'm like, the color scheme on this one is meh, but I like the way it's laid out. And for the other ones, I'm like, I like the layout of this one. There's one I really liked in there. I won't give any spoilers as to what that one is. Anyway, go check it out. Put in your vote, because that is what will be featured in the Team Think Quick tournament, which is also featured. Anyway, let me get to the actual commentary. Dreamer getting initial scout opposite direction as well. Probe actually coming off the line for Dreamer to try to engage just a little bit. First Zealot out for Dreamer, second Zealot in production, but he is holding back, it looks like, on that third Zealot. So just going to produce 2 Zealots. Initially, let's see if we see the full complement of 3 Zealots on the opposite side. Ooh, we see a Manor Pylon that I missed. That has actually blocked several probes, and that is a huge early victory for Dreamer. So even though, and if he cancels it, he gets a lot of those minerals back. Let's see if he does cancel it in time, or if he leaves it up. Usually you want to cancel it right here. Yeah, cancels it, gets his mineral back, actually did a lot of disruption of mining. That also throws a lot of timing off for his opponent. And on top of it, and so that's probably why he missed this additional Zealot, by the way. But on top of everything else, you get, I think it mathematically, it ends up working out overall. Cybernetic score plopping down. There are 3 Zealots out for Khrane. Only 2 Zealots, again, out for Dreamer. He does get those minerals back. He's got that assimilator up, but he's going to end up being a little bit behind on his cybernetic score. I don't think it's going to cost him anything because Khrane is being a little bit more defensive. Another Minor Pylon, and it looks like he was able to block yet another probe. This is also going to send a lot of these probes at this location, disrupting all... They're disrupted, so they're mining from behind. That slows down mining even further. Let's see if that ends up putting him ahead into the mid game. I don't see any Manor Pylons comparatively inside Dreamer's base. In fact, I think he might have killed that probe scout, or that probe scout returned home. I might have missed it overall. Let's see if there... Yeah, the Zealot got the kill while Khrane was disrupted. So another cancellation. So that ends up costing, I think, 33 resources. So that's 66 resources, but the amount that you end up disrupting your opponent oftentimes ends up being worth it. Cybernetic score getting that range upgrade, 2 Dragoons being produced with that single Zealot. 2 Zealots making their way forward, which might be Danger Town. There is no range being upgraded for Dreamer. So he went 2 Dragoons, no range. I don't think I missed the range upgrade overall. So despite all of that harassment, despite everything else, it looks like Khrane was just able to keep up with his macro a little bit better. Or maybe the mathematics of it. This is the deep mathematics I don't know of Brood War. It looks like a probe is coming back to home base. 4 Zealots on the ground for Dreamer. Could be that he just produced more raw Zealots and was going to work it that way. He does have... If he gets a move on, he might be able to get there before this range upgrade kicks in. He does have a lot of units on the ground, but otherwise it looks like he's just camping out. He wants to go ahead and take his natural 3 zealots, 2 dragoons at the natural. Otherwise, it looks like both players are setting up to maybe just go 2 gate into expansion and maybe a robo after the fact. Sorry, I take that back. Dreamer has already plopped down a 3rd gateway. That's warping in, so he's positioning as though he's going for an additional expansion. But in fact, he's going to go for probably quick pressure. That's usually what you got to do with those 3 gates. Usually that only gets countered as far as raw production from a 4-gate build. We will see. We will have to see what Khrane is up to. He's looking for proxy tech, so he thinks he's up against some sort of cheese. He's got the robotics facility down. If he opens up observatory first, obviously it's a little bit harder to fight off. If he opens up robo first, it's that ends up being a build order advantage. 3 dragoons being produced. Here's the thing though, Dreamer already has the dragoon count where he can start moving out with this. And he is going to have range by the time he walks up to that base. And Khrane is actually moving out himself. So he's got 6 dragoons, 3 zealots going up. Actually, because of the discrepancy and a couple lagging dragoons, he's about even in things overall. And is this going to turn into a base trade situation? He's going end around. And that probe cycling through, it looks like he also placed a pylon here at the 3 o'clock. Maybe he was definitely thinking going robo. But both players might end up in a, and this is, man, sloppy games both directions, or at least ugly games both directions. This is going to turn into a base trade potentially. Dreamer pulling back. He does have 3 gateways to try to defend this, and he sees that going in. So both players diving in. It's going to be it's going to become a micro fight, and no robo. It was an observatory, so that's not going to help him out. So a small advantage to Dreamer, but both players are inside each other's base. Plus, if this pylon goes down, that kills production for Dreamer. It's just going to be who can eliminate who first. Wow. And actually, Khrane might end up coming out with this because the pylons are still up. He's actually pulling his probes out. He does not have enough minerals to produce another Nexus, but he does. This is where this pylon might be critical. He's got that pylon at 9 o'clock, which might be the lone surviving thing that keeps him in this match. Dreamer needs to get out with a probe or something to get a pylon somewhere out in the field. Probe's coming off the line to try to provide the defense. 1 gateway is still powered on the corner. In the opposite corner, nothing being produced. There was a shield battery drop. The Nexus is gone. Khrane somehow managed to scoop up 400 resources, so he might be able to reproduce the Nexus someplace. And Probe's coming off the line for Khrane. He's going to go ahead and push in and try to just try to speed up the destruction. He knows if he can hold this 9 o'clock pylon, he will end up being victorious in the long run. Dreamer does not have enough minerals. Even if he managed to get a probe out, he doesn't have enough minerals to build an additional pylon. So I think Khrane might be able to take this. He might be able to take this. Looks like Dreamer is pulling out with his attack force. He does have a larger army currently. If he can come back and kill these units off, he will win. Nothing building currently here. It would be a cleanup effort. Nexus still... So, okay, 300 minerals, but no probes. I don't see any probes. Does he come back home? No, he's regathering. 1 probe escapes! This probe needs to make it out and build a pylon. Otherwise, that'll be GG. Builds a pylon at the natural. This army a little bit scattered. It has probes and dragoons engaging a pure dragoon army. Dreamer with his zealots a little bit delayed. Kind of a funnel, a nice blockade forward. Are the zealots going to move forward? So it's going to be a pure macro fight or pure micro fight from here on out to win it. A zealot getting taken out on the forward wall. 5 dragoons left. I think Dreamer might have done it. He has a superior count of dragoons. He managed to sneak that probe out. It's going to be close. 5 dragoons versus 3, but there are a couple probes there. Might be able to engage in this fight. 4-1. 4 versus 1. It looks like Dreamer has done it. Woo! Don't see that one every day. GG. Well played by Dreamer. Through some pure micromanagement. Able to pull that game out. That was a fun one. Like seeing that. We haven't seen that in a while. I don't think I've ever seen that. Anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. We will move on to game 3. Each player has pulled down 1 apiece. Thanks for listening.